Hello, my name is Kathy McCann. I'm the Regional Volunteer Manager at Action on Hearing Loss, and this is a short video about lone working. If you ever work by yourself, this is considered as lone working. An individual's freedom from risk, danger of harm caused by the behaviour of others. This includes being the only person working as part of an office, travelling for work, volunteering, or visiting people in the community or other offices. As an organisation, we have a duty of care to our staff and to you, our volunteers, to always make sure you are as safe as possible. Here are some general tips to discover for your own personal safety. Home visits. Where possible, don't put yourself at risk, especially if you are out volunteering alone. You should be trained in emergency procedures and know who to contact in an emergency. If you have agreed to work outside normal office hours, you should agree with your coordinator a way to confirm that you are finished and safely home. So, for example, ring or send a message. If you are working alone, you should make sure the entrances to the building are secure to stop anyone else entering. For example, many older people have keypad numbers these days, so these should be mixed up on entering to keep the code a secret. Remember that if an emergency situation does occur, you may have to contact the police or ambulance services. This should be recorded as part of your emergency procedure. Virtual telephone befriending. Before any calls are made, your coordinator will check you have access to the right equipment before providing anyone's details. For example, access to a phone or a text phone, phone card, money and teletext phone numbers, access to FaceTime, Skype or WhatsApp. When you make the call, introduce yourself. Explain who you are and why you are calling. An example script can be provided beforehand if you would like support with this. Never give out your personal number or address. On a landline, put 141 before the phone number. For Android, go to your settings, select supplementary settings, select caller ID, and then hide my number. Always close the conversation before leaving and remind them of the next steps. What to do if you don't feel safe? While it is highly unlikely that a visit will result in an incident of any kind, it is always important to be prepared. Trust your instincts. Never underestimate a threat. If you feel uneasy or alarm bells start ringing, act right away. If the person you're with is getting angry, try to remain calm. Some of our service users can sometimes get cross, but this is normally through frustration at communication difficulties. And remember, the earlier you spot a potential problem arising, the more chances you have to avoid it. You may also prefer to sit near the door in case you need to leave quickly. Reporting and recording. There is no guarantee that you will be able to completely avoid an incident in your volunteering role. Find out in advance what the reporting procedures are in your organisation and who to go to after an incident. If something happens to you, tell us. It is important to report near misses as well as actual incidents. Looking after your well-being. It's important as a volunteer to know your limitations, and you will have had training on this. While supporting others, as a befriender, you will have direct access to the service user, and your primary role will be to support them. This support may be delivered by taking the time to talk to them, assisting them with outings in the community, or it could be assisting them to carry out hobbies. Signposting. The term signposting means to direct someone to another service or organisation. For example, you might not be a legal expert, but your match needs advice. In this situation, you could help them access legal aid by giving them the phone number or accompanying them into town. Boundaries. You will already hopefully have had training on this. Expectations versus reality. It is crucial that you understand the reality of being a volunteer befriender from the beginning, so that your expectations are accurate, so that you can avoid being overwhelmed or disappointment. As we advocate that all service users should be given a clear outline of what the service is and what it is not, befriending networks also advocate that volunteer befrienders have a clear understanding of the roles and responsibilities. If you're unsure of what your role entails, ask your volunteer coordinator for help. Protecting your mental well-being. While befriending, there can be many things which may alter your mental well-being. For example, you might be finding that the commitment is too much, be grieving or struggling with specific factors of the match that cause you to need some time off. It is important to recognize your emotions and well-being. If you feel your mental well-being is in jeopardy or at risk of being so, either speak to your coordinator immediately or use your next support and supervision to talk it through. I hope you have enjoyed seeing the 3 previous videos on what is befriending, communication and boundaries. And thank you for watching this video covering lone working training. These videos aim to give you confidence in dealing with different situations. Let's have a look at 3 examples now, and I would be very grateful if you could please write down your answers and email to your coordinator, just to make sure you have understood. Scenario 1 is on safeguarding. While visiting an elderly person who's become very frail recently and looking for you to support them more, they ask you if you will take them to various appointments, for example, GP, hospital, to get a prescription or audiology. What would you do in this situation? In scenario 2, health and safety. Befriendee's flat has become increasingly untidy and the kitchen is dirty. They ask if you want tea or coffee and could you make it. They're recently recovering from a bout of gastroenteritis. Would you make the tea or coffee? And finally, scenario 3. While lone working, you arrive at your befriendee's house, which is out in the country. The door is open and they are lying unconscious on the floor. What would you do then? And finally, enjoy the experience. We hope it will be very positive, thanks to your commitment, compassion, and the support you're giving to older people living with deafness, hearing loss, or tinnitus. Thank you.